What is up, guys? It is Nistro here. Just another quick news update about Battles of Legend: Light of Revenge. We got ourselves the Gladiator Beast. Their rarities confirmed. We already knew these three were coming out. So it's Noxious, and Debata, the one that I don't use really, and Tamer Editor, which is probably the most broken of the new support. So pretty much it's like they made the two good ones secret rare and the one okay one an ultra rare, so I guess it's fine. I'll talk about the actual cards on a later date, like a full in-depth discussion on my opinions on the Gladiator Beast. But I mean, for now, like my initial thoughts on them is like Noxious. He's like okay. He's kind of like a hand trap for the deck. So it's like if you don't have any monsters, you just use him to stop your opponent from attacking directly. And I don't know if he can't be destroyed by battle the entire turn or just for that one battle. I have to look more into him. But yeah, he's not too bad. And Nabata requires Gladiator Beast Augustus, and honestly, although Augustus is pretty cool, he isn't really the best Gladiator Beast simply because he's level 8. And I feel like Augustus can kind of brick unless you play multiple copies of him. Like, I think playing 2 copies is like the best ratio simply because if you draw a 1, then then you just, when you special summon Gladiator Beast from the deck, you just summon out another copy of him and then use his effect to special summon the one from hand. And then when you just draw both of them, the chance is that you're probably going to have Gladiator Beast Respite as well. And you can argue that you might just draw Respite with having only one Augustus as well, but when you have 2 of them, it's like you're gonna focus your resources more around stalling until you may find one, you know. So yeah, but I know that he can also special summon Gladiator Beasts from the extra deck without like ignoring their summoning conditions, kind of like what Tamer Editor does. And yeah, when he goes back, he summons out 2 or 3. I think it's 2. So yeah, he isn't bad. He just, it's because of his summoning requirements, and he doesn't have too much attack either. He only has I think he has less than 2,000 attack actually, and he requires 3 monsters. So he does have a buttload of defense. Yeah, same thing for Tamer Editor, except he's a little more generic. He requires 2 level 5 or higher Gladiator Beast monsters, and so because of that, he's really easy to summon. The only thing is that he himself can't be used for a fusion summon. So Tamer Editor, he's a big booty. He has like 3,000 defense actually, or like 28, like so somewhere in the high 2,000s or 3,000 itself. And so what he does is that once per turn, so like as many, so pretty much just is not once per duel, not like you don't pay anything, you don't do anything, there's no cost, it's just special summon a Gladiator Beast monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. That's it, free. Like, he's really free, like free freaking monsters once you freaking start, once you get him out. And so, you can bring out Gyzaris and pop cards, you can bring out Heraclinos and, just have a negate on board. You can bring out Neurokius if your opponent has something that's like real big and you want a monster that can't be destroyed by battle. And Tamer Editor kind of solves a problem for those Gladiator Beast monsters that can't really, that don't have their own effect. Like Andal, like normal monster. So pretty much it's that at the end of the battle phase, if a Gladiator Beast monster you control battled, you can shuffle it back into the deck and special summon a Gladiator Beast monster from your deck. And that's Tamer Editor's effect. So you can use Tamer Editor to shuffle back Gladiator Beast monsters. So in case, like, let's say you use Gyzaris that turn, but Gyzaris' effect was negated by something like a Effect Veiler, right? You can still attack with that Gyzaris and then use Tamer Editor to special summon that, to use, like, to send Gyzaris back into the extra deck and then special summon a Gladiator Beast from your main deck. So yeah, and you know, if it's like a bestiary, then you could use like bestiary to like pop a spell or trap, and then maybe if you control another gladiator based monster, you can just go into Gyzaris again. You know, so yeah, there's definitely a lot of plays with these three cards, and I know actually I forgot to mention that Noxus also mills a Gladiator Beast monster if he will be destroyed by battle. I think that's how he works, and because of you know how the way Gladiator Beasts work, if you mill a Bestiary and then special summon out of Darius, that could be a really strong play. So yeah, he's actually real good in the main deck. I think he's definitely a 3 of. And yeah, so lastly, the last thing I want to say is that honestly, I think these guys got revealed way too late. I mean, going into Link format, it's going to be real hard to actually pull off Tamer Editor simply because of the way Link zones work. So we're going to need at least a Link monster that has at least two Link that has two Link points on your side of the field, and the closest we have to that is like Mrs. Radiant and Decode Talker, and Decode Talker requires 3. Now, 3 monsters for Gladiator Beast, that's actually a real high price. If you play a Scapegoat, Mrs. Radiant wouldn't be hard, and the fact that you play triple Wabaku definitely might help with that as well. So maybe if you play Scapegoat, or if you go Darius into Darius, you could be able to bring out a Mrs. Radiant, but that's really the best you're going to be able to do. And then even then, like you're like, I don't think Gladiator Beasts are a deck that has like extra resources. Like going into the duel, like they have to preserve their resources for as long as possible. But once they get the whole fusion, the whole fusion loop going, where they can bring out Bestiari and Gyzaris and like every turn, I think they'll be fine then. But like getting to that point, I feel like it's going to be hard for Gladiator Beast. That's just my opinion for Gladiator Beast in Link format. Now, they might do fine, but you know, if the OCG showed us anything, is that they probably won't make much of an impact, sadly. But you know, I say you know better late than never. Although it would have been nice to have this at the beginning of the Arc 5 era. Looks like the Lynx / Reigns era is going to be the time that we get this. So, that's really all I have to say for now. This was Nistro here. Hope you guys enjoyed. You know, leave a comment if you have any questions or anything. Nistro out.